is on at Mount Panorama. David Russell has pounced on Paul Morris and taken the lead in race 2 of the Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series here at Mount Panorama. Great shot from our coach hire chopper as the cars roar up Mountain Straight one more time. And it's not a two-way dice, it's now a three-way dice. James Moffat is on the scene.
He has, and he's caught up just nicely there.
There's the coach hire chopper that's been giving us great viewpoints of Mount Panorama today. It'll be doing the same tomorrow. But at the moment, Russell has got in front, but Moffat, he is now a factor.
Yeah, he is. It was just interesting. Russell just a fair bit stronger than Paul Morris under brakes. He really closed in on that last turn and made a clean pass into turn 1. But Moffat just got a handle of this car, a bit more rubber down today. It's working better for him. Nick Percat's just dropped off the back of these three. Just wants to get through this weekend and get some more miles under his belt. But Moffat is certainly on a charge of 53.0 to the first sector, equal to David Russell out in front. So he's actually put 7/10 on Paul Morris to this point of the lap.
Percat 4th, Mostert next, then Jeff Emery. This is a replay up the top on the run through Reed Park, and Moffat going. When you get to that curve, you know you're trying.
And that's why occasionally around here you get a bit of tyre damage, because that tyre was quite loaded as it gripped up and clipped that curve. So a fair bit of load going through the left rear tyre there, but maximum commitment under the tree, as they call it there, just pulling 4th gear, and Moffat's giving it everything.
The update with Steve Owen in the R&J Batteries Commodore, he is 10th. So he slipped back a little bit further, so trying to manage those issues, and he's lost the pace. He's not running as fast as the cars around him, so he might lose some more spots. He's just trying to get to the end, get some points, and then head to Sandown for the next round.
Well, Nick Percat is actually second in this championship, so and he's actually closing up a little bit. This could be a 4-way die, so the championship, it's never over till it's over. Everyone, I thought, was of the opinion that Steve Owen had this in the bag. He had a bit of a drama at Townsville where he got tangled in turn 1 with Russell, and here it's not going all the right way for him either.
Tim Blanchard, the last car through. Just before him there was Jeff Emery, who'll make his debut in the 1000 tomorrow. There's Ben Barker, the young Englishman, just 19 years of age. He's running 9th. And here is the car, Drew Russell in 14th place. There he is in that repaired car. Great job from that small team from Newcastle to get back into the motor race. But David Russell pulled out virtually a second on that lap and is starting to drive away. And if anything, Percat's gained some ground on Moffat.
Yeah, he has. So perhaps Moffat's just hurt the rear tyre a little bit. He certainly had a fair bit of car attitude across the top of the mountain. You can only do that so many times so you heat up the case of the tyre, and it does tend to drop off a couple of tenths. So it's not a relatively long race, but perhaps he's just losing a little bit of pace on this last lap.
This is the extreme slow-mo. This is Marcus Zukanovic's Commodore. He sits 10th in the race at the moment. And this is up the top of the mountain. And look, the spoiler hitting the curb, the compression through the suspension. This is all happening so fast, you don't really see this in real speed.
Oh, this is awesome footage. I mean, that front splitter there just touching the curb, so it starts to wear the splitter. You can see some flame coming out the side of the car on the overrun as they're off the throttle. Great footage. Watching our timing screens, Owen has lost heaps of ground, heaps of pace. He's got huge problems. He's back to 12th. And it couldn't have happened at a worse round because it's just a 2-race format. Normally it's 3 races with 100 points on each race. This one's more loaded, 150 points up for grabs. It's the worst time to have a problem in a race. Well, he's still got 201 points, so he's going to lose about 30 points at this stage to Nick Percat. But great for the championship, not so good for Steve Owen. I'm sure he's really thinking about tomorrow with Jamie Whincup, but it keeps the championship wide open. They've still got Sandown and, of course, Homebush, the grand final in December to go.
Moffat a little bit wide of the exit of the last corner. Russell that time at 2:09.73. He has really got this one by the throat. That car looked really pacey yesterday, and they've backed it up again today. We're right on board. Norton 360 Falcon.
So he's about to make a roll bar adjustment there, and he's actually, I can't tell you exactly which way the FPR bars work, but I'd say more than likely just soften the rear bar off a little bit, just to allow the car to have a bit more compliance and look after that rear tyre. So the fact that he is making adjustment inside the car is that he's probably just lost a little bit of balance. But a 2:09.7 by David Russell we're going to see times in the 7s in the shootout for the V8 Championship Series, but that is a competitive race pace for the Bathurst 1000, so he's certainly not hanging around.
Of course, the guys at the front will be back in action tomorrow. David Russell with Jonathan Webb, Paul Morris with Russell Ingall, James Moffat, as we mentioned, with Steve Richards. Nick Percat won't be racing tomorrow. He made his debut at the L&H 500 at Phillip Island. Of course, though, Ryan Briscoe coming back to the country to drive with Andrew Thompson. But David Russell, this is just, we said it yesterday, it's just great for the confidence. And of course, having a support race on the Fujitsu Series wasn't around when, say, you were a young guy, so it gives them more of a chance to run on the track, more laps, more of a chance to get your eye.
And listen to this camera angle. You can hear the drivetrain, the gearbox, everything just working. It is a fantastic audio.
Timing is perfect, and Percat closes in.
We're talking about that rear brake lock, Nunes, and that's exactly what you saw there. The back of the car snake around just at the latter part of the braking phase. So I'd say the rear tyre is becoming a bit of an issue for James Moffat. We knew he made a roll bar or an anti-roll bar adjustment inside the car. I'd say brake bias would be next. So let's have a look at this. You see the rear just losing traction towards the very end of the stop. And it was not particularly fast lap for him last time round.
David Russell leads the way. The margin about 2 seconds back to Paul Morris. He's on target to take the round in the Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series. More from the mountain, just a tick. David Russell is the man who leads the way. The Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series at Mount Panorama, race 2 of the weekend. And this Falcon has been flying. He's got the margin out to 2.5 seconds over Paul Morris. He's pretty comfortable there in the Love Commodore. Moffat third, Percat in 4th spot. And the race really now has settled into something of a rhythm. I only tripped over that. A rhythm.
Well, I just wonder whether Nick Percat is still a chance to sneak a position out of James Moffat. It'll certainly help his championship chasing down Steve Owen if he can grab those extra points. So this is on board, looking out the back towards Nick, over the top, Percat using all of the curb, and down into the dipper.
Have a look at how low the Coates Hire chopper's flying. There's lots of drivers who've told me this weekend, when it flies alongside them over McPhillamy, it's actually quite distracting.
It is. I can vouch for that. Last year, you think, whoa, where's that chopper going? They're going to land on my roof, but fantastic footage, nonetheless.
Now, I saw Nick Percat just before the start of this race, and he had one of his fingers taped up. I thought it was very, very strange. Drivers regularly will tape up the middle of their hand, particularly with the gloves. He said, no, I just slammed it in the door before. Not exactly the best pre-race ritual.
The problem there is, Aaron, that David Reynolds drove this car previously, and he's just as clumsy. I think he's been hanging around with Dave too much. But it doesn't look like it's affecting his performance. Nick Percat, we mentioned during yesterday's telecast that Garth Tander certainly tries to help Nick as much as possible, part of the Walkinshaw stable.
And Tim Blanchard here running in 6th place, which is great. He started 14th, so he's fighting with Nick for 2nd in the championship. And also, these two guys, no doubt, will be the guys fighting it out for the Mike Cable Young Gun Award for the best first-year V8 Supercar driver. Tim Edwards, team principal of Ford Performance Racing, Maranbarella from Ford Australia, hoping for a big result in tomorrow's great race. But Blanchard working his way back up the mountain. He's 8 seconds behind Chaz Mostert and not running at the same pace, so he's losing a bit of ground.
Made a slight mistake yesterday. This is a replay of Rodney Jane just blocking an inside front there. Certainly won't have an issue getting any more tyres for that car. Just at the apex, so very late in the stop, and didn't lose much ground out of it at all. So just hanging on to the top 10.